Hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen, because it's time to talk about The Shape of Water. I am Sam Mosher, E23's digital director. I'm joined today by...
Josie Clark.
Have you recovered from that amazing joke yet?
My name is Jago Douglas, E23 executive producer.
The Shape of Water is nominated at the 2018 Academy Awards for 13 different categories, including sound mixing, sound editing, film editing, cinematography, production design, supporting actor, supporting actress, best actress, best picture, best director. I'm pretty sure I lost it somewhere. And best score. I believe that's all 13. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's the most nominated film at this year's awards. I think for good reason, but we're here today to find out if I'm alone in that. Josie, what do you think of The Shape of Water?
I thought it was a very interesting movie. I think it's very beautiful. As for the plot itself, I was a little bored. I think it's a little too sweet, actually. So, I can see why it'd be nominated for a lot of technical awards because I think it's a gorgeous movie. But as for some of the acting, I just didn't quite feel as wrapped into it as I guess some other people did.
That's fair. Jago?
Yeah, Shape of Water is a Hellboy prequel, first and foremost.
Which one is Hellboy? Is it Sally Hawkins?
No, the fish guy is the fish guy from Hellboy.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's got that going for it. No, I think this movie is good. I think it definitely has flaws. I think its pacing is kind of off sometimes. I think it kind of... Yeah, it is, Sam. And and also it's over-sexualized a lot, which kind of bugged me.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of a minor complaint, but I do think it kind of jars the audience at times. There's some scenes that are kind of graphic sexually, and I think that somewhat ruins the love story in a way.
It doesn't feel like a love story. It feels like friends with benefits, but it's a fish.
Feels like they really start connecting in the second half of the movie.
I didn't know I was gonna sit between two haters.
I think it's a beautiful movie. It's shot extremely well. Technically, it's great. Guillermo del Toro does a great job directing. I just think it is an overly sexualized movie, and I think that it does have some pacing issues. And I think the best performance in the movie didn't get nominated. Michael Shannon is incredible in this. Sally Hawkins, I think, should win Best Actress. But I do think Michael Shannon has a few scenes in this that are showstoppers, like incredible scenes.
He's the best movie villain of 2017. I'll stand by that. Suck it, Steppenwolf from Justice League, and also the dead body of Michael Shannon in Justice League. Anyway, all right, sorry.
Well, he's not. No, that's Batman v Superman. Don't get your DC movies twisted.
Wait, you don't see the dead body of Michael Shannon in?
Nope.
Oh, dang. Well, that joke failed. I love The Shape of Water. I think it is an adult fairy tale with adult content that doesn't take itself entirely seriously, and I like that. I think, it's willing to get a little messy, but I think all of your guys' complaints are valid. I would disagree, but I think your complaints about it being a little too sweet, given that it is a fairy tale, that's like fairy tales are often too sweet for some people. That's a valid complaint. Go on.
Well, if you're going to say that it's an adult fairy tale, most fairy tales don't actually end very happy. They usually end on a pretty sour note with a very good moral. And I think that if it would have done that at the end instead of a very happy ending, I would have appreciated it more.
Is it a happy ending, though?
It is.
Does that actually happen?
What?
Because I don't think what happens at the end is real. I think that's what Richard Jenkins' character wished happened. But I don't think that's realistically
I think if anything, it's a bittersweet ending because no matter which way you interpret it, one person is losing somebody they love, whether it's Richard Jenkins or she has to leave her world behind, and it's because
she dies.
Yeah. Either way, there's nothing really perfect about the ending. I think we're getting in the weeds here. Let's get into I think stuff we can all agree on, which is the technical side.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we want to talk about sound mixing, sound editing on this one? I don't have much to say.
Go watch the Dunkirk one, because that's where Dunkirk video, because we talk about it more there.
Yes. I think one thing I do want to talk about is the score, which I think is phenomenal. I think one reason the Academy really loves this movie is because it has a lot of kind of vibes of old Hollywood, specifically spoilers for, I think the best sequence in the whole film is the old Hollywood-esque musical, which I guess some people could find jarring, but I found lovely and an amazing surprise. But just in terms of score, I think the orchestral score is great. It gives Dunkirk a run for my money, although Dunkirk still keeps it. But I think this movie stands a good shot at winning if you want something more traditional.
Yeah, I think Phantom Thread and Dunkirk's scores are a lot better.
I've not seen Phantom
Yeah,
Thread.
Phantom Thread's score is beautiful, and it really matches well. It's almost eerie in a way, which mixes well with the characters in that film. Dunkirk's score, I've been on record saying it's my favorite. So yeah, I just think I think the score in this movie is good, but I just think Dunkirk and Phantom Thread blow it out of the water.
I actually haven't seen any other nominated movies.
Did you like the score?
I did enjoy the score a lot. I really liked the old Hollywood kind of.
It's very big. It's very
Yes, it was
cinematic.
Very much, especially whenever the dialogue in the movie itself, there's a limited amount since two of the main characters don't even speak. Music has to play a really big part in that, and I think it does a great job at it.
I think the score does a good job of hitting the different emotional tones, whimsical, threatening, without ever feeling too on the nose. That's what I think is so good about the score. But that's enough on that subject. Does anyone have any thoughts on film editing while we're brushing through its 13 nominations?
Yeah, Baby Driver will win that.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything to be said.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Baby Driver. I haven't seen him, so
You haven't seen Baby Driver?
I have not seen Baby Driver.
You should.
See
It's good.
Baby
For the
Driver.
longest time, I thought Baby Driver was a remake. I did not know it was an original movie. I don't know why.
It's a spin-off of Boss Baby. Live action spin-off.
Cameron
the
made
boss
that same joke.
the Boss Baby grows up.
And then becomes
Become-
Driver.
Okay.
Baby. B-A-B-Y, baby.
Now, one category, Jacob, I think you have a very interesting opinion on is Best Original Screenplay.
Yes.
Why do you think Shape of Water stands a chance in this category?
Because it's, I think it's a good screenplay. It's a good, unique idea, but also I think it's a love letter, and I think the Academy will really appreciate that.
Oh, you're referring to Guillermo del Toro's love for Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Right, and Old Hollywood.
I agree with that. The other thing that you brought up before is that something I don't really even think about is that Sally Hawkins' character is mute. She doesn't speak.
Oh, yeah.
And so they do a very good job of, for lack of a better way of saying it, writing around that, making it, it does a very good job with that. It's something you don't even think about. Like, oh, yeah, writing for a mute character is very difficult because you also have to write for these other characters who have to fill in enough that you know what
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
They also have to speak for her a lot, which I think is very interesting to be able to convey her emotions through other people as not just her signing and you seeing, even though she's a phenomenal actress and she does a really great job of portraying something like without speaking, I think the other actors who are also a part of that do a really good job of doing their role and making her even more exciting of a character.
Now, I think Get Out will win. Or
Yeah,
at
I
least
think
is
it's Get
is
Out.
stronger. Yeah. All right.
I agree.
Yeah.
Next, cinematography. I think the cinematography is a battle between Dunkirk and Blade Runner. I think there's some definitely cool shots. I love the opening, as in like kind of when the opening credits are playing and you're in this like sunken bedroom.
Yeah, it kind of
But
pissed me off a little bit.
how some?
Yeah, because I want a BioShock movie,
Oh.
and I was like, it's possible.
I've said before, Shape of Water, that Guillermo del Toro would make a great director of BioShock, and I stand by that after this.
They literally use the BioShock font,
Yeah, they do.
and I'm like,
Even the music is kind of fitting,
Right.
But anyway. BioShock's cool.
It's a topic for another day.
I respect the nomination, but I don't think it'll win.
No, me neither.
Once again, I have not seen most of them. From what I have heard, I don't think it's going to win.
Yes.
But
Now, in terms of the way it's shot and just the whole package, Best Director, Guillermo del Toro is nominated, I think stands a very good shot, but as a common theme in these videos here at E23, this could go to anyone and I wouldn't be upset.
Right, yeah, I think it's everyone's race to win. I think everyone has a chance.
Yeah. I think, like, one thing you mentioned, Guillermo del Toro is a man of passion, as all these directors are, but I think that's one thing Guillermo del Toro kind of wears on his sleeve, is that he makes, whether it's the gothic horror Crimson Peak, I believe it was called,
Yeah.
whether it's these kind of very visually rich superhero films, Hellboy, or he wants to make a movie about robots, Pacific Rim. He does what he wants to, and this time it just really resonated with critics. And I think to a point that's something commendable, but he shouldn't win for. But I don't know. I think that's worth noting. I really respect him as a creator.
Definitely.
As far as like you were talking about more of like the passion and the creativity, I think that's really interesting to see in like an Oscar-nominated movie, because a lot of them, I haven't seen them, but I've heard a lot about like The Post, Phantom Thread are very like Oscar-nominated, Oscar-bait kind of thing. Yeah. So I
think calling Phantom Thread safe is a stretch.
Okay, well.
I think to the late. Would you have said that before you've seen the movie?
From like viewing.
Yes, probably, but you have to see it. Phantom Thread is not safe.
Okay,
they take some risks, some big ones.
Yeah.
To make people go see it, though, the commercials themselves they look very safe, like very Oscar bait-ish. So to have something very unique and catch the eye of critics, I think that's very interesting, and I think that it's directed very well. That makes you want to go see it and want it to win. I don't know if it will, but
I honestly think this movie is more Oscar baity than Phantom Thread. I just want to throw that out there. The way they pander to old Hollywood.
Well,
and just like the love story part of it. They're two very different movies, but I think this movie does kind of say, "Hey, Academy, you like this?" And Phantom Thread.
I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis is
right, but you have to see Phantom Thread. It's more than what you think.
All right. Well, other categories that Shape of Water nominated for are 3 of the 4 acting categories. First off being Best Supporting Actor for Richard Jenkins.
Yes, he's awesome.
He is awesome. He's just a very likable character with some interesting character beats, but that's the writing, not the performance itself. Anyone have any thoughts on his performance?
I thought he was the best part of the movie.
You're not the first person I've heard say that.
Him, and also isn't the supporting actress also
Octavia Spencer.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great too.
I thought they were both absolutely fantastic. I definitely think it was a little better because he's kind of the narrator of the film as well, and I really think that fits well, especially with what he does for a living and like his whole creativity aspect. I would have loved to know more about him. I think that he was absolutely amazing whenever he acts, does anything. I loved it.
That's one of the things I love about The Shape of Water is that it makes it supporting characters more than just supporting. You learn a little about all of their backstories, and to the point where he's like, I don't know, he's like not too far from almost being like, comparable for the Best Actor category.
Yeah.
But enough on that. Best Supporting, I think Willem Dafoe will win Best Supporting Actor.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Best Supporting Actress, Octavia Spencer. I think it's fine. I wasn't blown away.
Allison Janney is an actress that exists, so she'll probably win.
What was she in?
I, Tonya. She plays Tonya Harding's mother. She's
incredible. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, Best Actress, Sally Hawkins.
She should win.
She should win.
She should win.
It was amazing. I think her performance is phenomenal and a great part of the movie.
The best sequence with her is when she is talking to Richard Jenkins. Well, she's not talking because she's mute.
signing.
She's signing, to Richard Jenkins' character about why they should save the creature from the lab. And that's that. I mean, just that scene right there. I was like, now that's what I call acting.
And she deals humor very well too when she's sassing Michael Shannon, etc.
Yeah, or when she does this.
Yes, when she does the
comedic scene.
Yes.
And
I think she will lose to Frances McDormand though, just from the way all other award shows have been going.
Just the one actress who portrays, an old lady, an angry old lady, is going to beat someone who portrays this very nuanced character who can't speak but conveys emotion very well.
Sometimes the Academy like to be told.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Now, last but not least, Best Picture. Do we think? I think if it having the most nominations says anything, I think it stands a very good shot.
It has a chance. My pick is Get Out, but yeah, it definitely has a shot. Just like Best Director, I think a lot of these movies have a chance. I think the movies that don't are like Call Me by Your Name, Dunkirk, the Winston Churchill movie.
Yeah.
Darkest Hour.
And as someone who, from the outside, who hasn't seen it, I think Phantom Thread is a case of it's one of those movies I feel like we'll lose because it doesn't have enough people talking.
Right.
Who have actually seen
nobody's seen it.
Yeah.
which is sad because people should see it.
So I think the gist of it is The Shape of Water is like in the top 3 to 4 with Get Out and what else do you put up there?
The Post, Lady Bird, yeah, Shape of Water.
What do you think?
I think Shape of Water has a great chance. I obviously haven't seen most of them, but I have heard a lot of Oscar buzz about it and heard a lot of people talking about it and really enjoying it. So I think it has a pretty decent chance for Best Picture.
All right. Well, take a trip underwater to go see The Shape of Water. You like that?
That was good.
Thank you. And go see all the other Oscar nominees. This has really been, 2017 really was an amazing year for film. Tune into the Oscars on Sunday. Check out MUTV E23 on YouTube to see the rest of our discussions on the Oscar nominees. And yeah, let us know on Twitter at MUTV23 what you thought of The Shape of Water. But until then, thank you for your time and have a great rest of your day.